What's up, guys? Kyle from Newell Strength, located in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Actually, the first video I'm making since I got my new Google phone. So hopefully this comes out okay. But I wanted to cover a story quickly, and which is going to lead into the topic for this week's podcast of unlocking your inner strength. When I was driving to school every day, when I was still teaching, I always practiced the slight edge, principle of the slight edge. And that was always to try to get better in every situation that I could. So even today, when we, me, Dax and Martina and Braxton go for our walks, I'm always listening to something to educate myself or inspire myself. Got to leverage your time. But one of the CDs I used to listen to, and so obviously you can see this before the MP3s and all that became really big, was a Jim Rohn, The Art of Exceptional Living. He talked about having a life philosophy and really having something that's going to guide your actions and principles. So it's really important to have and develop your own set of rules. So on this week's podcast, I talk about rules. I call it Kyle Newell's rules, number 1 to 5. I thought it was cool that it rhymed, but some of the things on there, why it's important, I'm just looking at my notes here, why it's important that you have the attitude that you can control everything in your life. That's very powerful. I go way more into depth with the podcast. Why deadlines are your lifelines. Nothing has ever happened without a deadline. That's why so many people procrastinate, and then they get it done because it's a deadline that they have to use. But that's not using it smartly. There's a way to use that to our advantage. Why good is good enough. So many people have this perfectionist mindset, which is really fear. And nothing is ever good enough to ship or launch or put out there for the world to see. But that's just a judgment-based mindset. And unless you can put a stake through the heart of that, you'll never really do anything great. Two biggest areas that you have to invest in are your education and what you eat, because they become who you are. Very important. And why, if you continue to suffer fools in your life, that's your own fault. If people are taking advantage of you and just annoying you and pestering you, there's something you can do about it. And I kind of touched on this in the Time Vampire podcast, but those are some things to think about to start getting you down the path to developing your own philosophy, because you need rules and a philosophy and discipline to live the life of your dreams. So that's what I got for you today. Hopefully you like that. You can check out the podcast in the link below. Thanks for all the support. We'll get back on the regular now with doing these more often. Peace, guys.